everybody, like you said, is income. So if you're hourly or salary, W-2s and 30 days of pay stubs. Sometimes they'll ask for the last 2 years of taxes on top of that. If you're
Okay.
self-employed, definitely the last 2 years of taxes, right? So you can analyze it all, man, all pages, right? Credit score matters. They look at employment history. It could be a different job, but it has
Hmm.
to be continuously 2 years of history. So someone could have changed job 3 times, but if there was no real breaks, like maybe a month in between, and they kept being paid hourly or salary, they're fine.
Oh,
You just
okay.
want to see a 2 year history. And then same thing with their living space. They could have moved a few times, but they just want to look back and look at 2 years and say, okay, you've had living history for 2 years continuously. Let's go ahead and move on.
Oh, okay.
But the
Got it.
biggest
And
thing, my man, if
yeah.
I can share real quick, that really differentiates people, because you can work on a credit score. That's kind of easy. I give people guidance all the time and say, hey, if you do this, this, and that, I'm not a professional. I have systems that recommend things, right? So I do it for
Huh?
my clients when they need it. You can boost a score quite easily. What you can't, what's tougher to change is to pay off debt, right? So they're going to analyze how much money you make
Yeah.
in comparison to how much debt you have,
Oh,
and
okay.
that was
Yeah.
truly going to dictate how much you can afford. So some folks
Oh.
have 2, 3 cars, Sea-Doos, some ATVs. That stuff,
Yeah.
like all those minimum payments get added and are held against how much you make every month. Well, some
Oh.
folks don't have that. They have 1 car, maybe no payment with an old car, right? 2 or 3 credit cards. They're in a much better position to get a bigger loan and a better rate.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. And so let's say Dennis, like let's say that I'm a first time home buyer, right? And I'm preparing to buy a home. What are some of the do's and don'ts that you recommend when you're about to purchase a home?
Good question, man. This is actually a common joke within the loan officer community, because we'll tell people sometimes and they'll do it, and then then we lose, they fall out of escrow, or things get
Yeah,
complicated sometimes, and it's like, we told you, But so knowing you credit, right? You can have someone run your credit if you really need someone to, but opening a new account can totally change your credit profile in a way that can take you from qualifying to no longer qualifying. Um, Obviously, changing jobs. If you're like in the middle of a change during escrow, it can change things. You either got to change jobs before, 30 days before, or after.
gotcha. Okay.
Um, yeah, moving is okay. People can move. That's not a big deal. But primarily, it has to do with the job and the credit. Don't open new credit. Don't spend unnecessary money. Right. Try
Right.
to try to really prepare yourself for what you're about to embark on, which is something that gives you a lot in return, but costs money to do.
Exactly. So you're saying like if you're about to buy a home, don't make any car purchases, don't
No,
buy a new sofa,
no,
don't buy a
no.
new TV,
That
nothing like
will
that.
change
Yeah.
someone's, like, really, like with the snap of a finger, change their qualification status. Those are
Damn.
probably the
Yeah.
primary no's, bro, for sure.
And you've seen it happen, right? Like you've seen all these
In
types of
escrow,
situations.
yeah, people have bought a new car, leased a new car, and or charged a credit card up dramatically, and now we're in a place where either we can't make the loan happen anymore, or we have to wait until they fix that. Right? Either way, it's a scary, nervous situation.
I can only imagine, just like being in escrow and like, like just being like, sorry, like the lender pulled out, like they can't, they can't make the loan
That's the
anymore.
worst. That's the
Like,
worst
man,
conversation, man.
yeah. And you have to have those conversations, right? Like you're the one that has to call the client and like, hey man, like, I told you not to do this and you went ahead and did it anyways, but
Yeah.
this is what happened
Yeah, and
due
we're
to
here
that.
now. So if I have a solution, I'll recommend it, and we'll get through
Yeah.
it. And if it's dead, I have to tell them. That's just
Yeah, man.
a
It's
harsh one.
just yeah, those are tough, but I mean, they happen not all the time,
Oh,
but
yeah,
like they happen.
yeah. No, I think thankfully, to your point, it's rare, but when it happens, it's tough, right? Because so many emotions are involved, and so
Yeah.
many people, right? Like the other listing agent, the seller, my client, who's now not gonna, it's a tough one, man. And what
It's
you do
I
too, right? I'm
can
sure you've had to deliver some tough news.
oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, it's just, you know, it, you got to do it, it's like once you can't like do anything with like, a dead bird, it's just like once it's shot, like it's like you can't do anything
It's
with
just,
it. So
yeah.
it's just, yeah, man,
You gotta
you
tell the
can't.
kids, hey, Petey died. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, man, it's a part of life, like it doesn't happen all the time. Just like with clients, like you're not always going to get the most, like the kindest client, or you're not always going to be able to connect with people. But sometimes like you gotta, especially for like listing agents, because we think, oh, just because like this seller is super rude, or like he's being like harsh to me, like I should still list this home. Like, nah, man, if you like, at the end of the day, like if you don't like someone, like you could tell them, hey, sorry, but I can't list your home. Like we as agents like let these clients like walk all over us, like just step all over us. But you just have to like have that respect for yourself and be like, nah, man, like, yeah, you know what, like either we do it this way, or like, I can't work with you.
Right.
So you get those clients over the phone, you get rude people, you get people that hang up on you, you get people
Yeah.
that cuss you out.
Yeah.
and and same thing, I mean, in person too, like on like as far as door knocking, I mean, you do get a rude people. You get people that slam the door in your face. You get people that have dogs. Oh my goodness, this is the one thing. Like when I hear dogs at the door, I'm like, oh man, not this one again, because it's always hard to hear. I'm always having to like yell over
True.
people, or like
Because
the
the
dogs
bark,
just
yeah.
don't stop barking. And it's like when I see a beware of dog sign, I'm just like, you know what? Like I think twice about like knocking on that door.
I
I'm
might
like,
skip this one.
it could be a big dog or it could be a little dog, but like either way, it's like a situation I don't want to get into. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'll just knock on the next one. But yeah, man, it happens. It happens. I mean, 90% of people are super cool. They understand, like they get you. But then you
Yeah.
you just have that 10% where it's just like that are not the best customers. But it's part of business. It's part
No,
of any
and you
business.
bring up a very good point, if I may, for any loan officers or people who are thinking of becoming a real estate agent or a loan officer. One of the perks of this job is exactly what you said. You don't have to take orders from people. So if you don't want to work with somebody, you just tell them nicely, listen, this is not a good match. You should find a different realtor who can fit your needs. I just don't want this to be a negative experience for either of us. Right? And you don't have to do it.
Exactly.
And I think when you have I came from a 9 to 5 job. When you have a 9 to 5, you're doing what you're told to do, and who you talk to, who you have to talk to.
Yeah, man. And they tell you, I mean, they control your time. Like one of the reasons why, because I used to work at CarMax. I used to
All
work
right.
selling cars. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, I
Up
watched
in,
your video about your story, bro. It was cool.
oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work in San Jose, so I used to work
Yeah.
out there. I read in this book, it's like the person who controls your time also controls your income. So like if you control your time, you can make as much money as you want in this business.
That's
Like
right.
there's no ceiling. And then to your point, like and when I was in San Jose, they told me how to talk, like how to like what time to be at work, like what I
Yeah.
can't do, what I can
Yeah.
do. Like it was just like, I got fed up because I've always been the person to I mean, I love working on a team, don't get me wrong, but like I've always been the person that likes to work independently and like, be the master of my own destiny pretty much,
Right. Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I got into real estate, is because I was like, I was like, I don't want to work for anybody. Like I work best by myself. Like it's just that freedom, but that freedom can also be a negative, because if you don't manage your time correctly, if you don't schedule yourself every single day, okay, this is what I'm going to do at this hour. At 10, I'm going to do cold calling. 11, I'm door knocks. 12, follow up. 1 to 3, real estate education, this and that. So if you don't schedule it, you're not going to know what to do. People are just going to come into your day. Clients are just going to call you at whatever time they
Yeah.
want. And like if you have no schedule, then it could also be a negative, but
I agree.
you have to be able to manage your time. And as an entrepreneur, as someone, I'm sure you know this, um, you have to be able to manage your time, or else you're not going to get anywhere. Like
No, you're right.
you're not going to get anywhere.
I want to ask you a question before I do. I want to share. There's this. I pay for them training, and there's this guy, Michael Hammond, who does business intelligence. And one of his phrases is, are you running your business or is your business running you, right? And exactly what you were talking about. Like if you don't analyze your situation and your business and then construct time. I'm not great at that, bro. I gotta be honest with you. I'm pretty bad at that
Yeah,
still, but I'm trying. But to your point, if you don't do that, you're running around, right? It's tough to get a hold of your business when you don't have a schedule.
it is, man.
For
You
sure.
have to set your schedule at least like the whole week. Like, what
Yeah.
are you gonna do? What time you're gonna do it? And you have to hold yourself accountable. Like,
Yeah.
or else you're just gonna be like, oh, you're gonna get distracted by this thing, or
Yeah.
someone's gonna ask you for a favor, and then
Like,
it's
oh, I
like,
missed it.
no,
Yeah.
from this
No.
time, yeah, from this time to this time, like, sorry, but like, I got to do this. You got to worry. You got to take care of yourself first, so then that way in the future you can take care of your family. So,
100%.
yeah, man, you got to say no. You got to
Yeah.
say no sometimes. So
Is that what you do? That would
yeah,
be my question for you. Is so how do you handle, right, everything and structuring it in a way where you're not going berserk.
yeah, no, that's a good question because I use Google Calendar
Okay.
very heavily, like every single day, what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go, at what time. Sometimes, and don't get me wrong, sometimes like it doesn't work out exactly, but at least it gives me like a guideline, like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what I'm gonna do at 10 a.m., at 12, at 1, 2, 3, and then sometimes one thing takes more time than the other, but it's just about having that structure, kind of that
The
weekly,
outline.
okay, this is what I'm gonna do every single
Yeah.
day. And it helps, man. It helps. Otherwise, I'd just be like lost.
Yeah.
I'd be lost. And also, of course, I also wear a watch. Having a watch always like just helps me just okay, how much time am I doing this? Like a
Right.
watch for me is like absolutely necessary. So those two things, a watch and a calendar is a must. Yeah.
That's
Google
cool.
Calendar. Yeah.
Right. Right. No, it's
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Because yeah,
Yeah, man, of course, man. Anything that helps, we're I'm not shy about sharing information. One thing um I say may resonate with you, and then one thing you say might resonate with me. So you never know, man. You never know.
yeah,
And yeah,
absolutely.
we're here to help each other out, man.
That's why I think also this video that you're doing is so cool, right? Because information sharing, right? Someone's gonna hopefully hear this and see it and think, oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't think of it like that, right? Maybe help them make a decision they were trying to make, right? Or whether it be their business and becoming an agent or a loan
Yeah.
officer or purchasing their home, right? They know what to do now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Dig it.
So yeah, it was a great talk, man. We went for 30 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
for 30 minutes.
No, that's cool,
6:27.
man.
Damn,
I
that time
appreciate
flew
the
by.
opportunity for
Of
sure.
course, my
Honestly,
man.
Charlie,
Of
super cool,
course,
bro.
man. So yeah, man, you got any other questions?
Um, nothing pressing. I think if just a tip for people out there searching for homes, right? Finding the right agent and the right loan officer is important, right? You want an agent who cares about you and is willing to do all they can to get you the home, and you need a lender who's creative as well to help you make a nice offer to get your home. So for those who are battling currently in this market, ask your lenders of ways to get creative. Ask your agents of things that other people are doing to build and bulk up their offer. One little gem that I'll drop on people for those who are working with the lender is have them do what's called, everybody calls it different things. I call it a TBD underwrite. Other folks call it a quick escrow. The idea is that you get your loan underwritten and approved by the bank before you ever find a home. So underwriter gets assigned to your case, no home yet. And they'll look at your income, your credit situation, all the documents that are necessary, and they'll analyze it like if you truly had escrow going on. And they'll come back and they say either denied, work on this and bring it back, or hey, you've been approved. Congratulations. At that point, when you go make an offer for a home, you can confidently tell the agent, hey, I'm approved through underwriting. This loan will not fall apart. All I need now to finish escrow is this house. I need title work and appraisal, right? So you have a quick escrow. No one's in fear of escrow falling out. And I've noticed that for FHA buyers and conventional buyers competing in this market, it evens the scales. It helps you
Mhm.
compete much better and get your offer accepted.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Dennis. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this with me. And like you said, man, you know, I hope someone learns something from this. You know, you never know who's out there. I mean,
Yeah.
so if we help someone in some way, shape, or form through this video, learn something new, then we did our job. So,
Yeah. And shoot,
um,
any real estate needs, like the Charlie Recinos, be the man with the plan.
thank you, Dennis. And yeah, likewise, if you know, if you guys need anything as far as loans, I mean, the first person that comes to mind, the first person I'm gonna contact is Dennis. So yeah, man, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. And man, we'll stay in touch, man. It was great.
Take
It
care,
was great
Presky. Yeah,
speaking
man.
to you.
Hopefully we
And
can do some more of these and give
yeah,
the
man,
public
of
some knowledge,
course.
but
This is the
appreciate it,
first
man.
of many.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Super
first of
cool, man.
many.
I enjoyed it.